All right, so now I click the button. Great. It gives me, hello, what country you're from, and it gives me each of the countries. All right, but what Nathan wanted to do was show the image. So that's going to be very straightforward. Let me go back to my code. So now that we have to put in an on click on each of these images, right? So we're going to say, and this is where it can get tricky because there's two ways to do it. It doesn't matter. I'm going to come here. So now, remember, anytime I'm doing code, I have to put my quote. So I'm going to say span on click. All right, now here's very important, very important. It's going to screw you up a million times. And typically, I would do this, right? But you can't do that inside of the quote, so you have to do this. And then you're finishing your code. So now you put your quote mark and your plus. Your plus means you're going to be taking a variable, right? Either the array element or whatever. You're going to put a variable next to code. So I did that over here with the variable I set up. I did this here. All right. So now what we're going to do is rather than putting a dash in here, we're going to put our span. Okay? And all we're going to do is say on click. And we're going to send it what the appropriate I is. We're going to send it what number, array, element it is in the list. But that's a variable, so we have to put our quote, and then we have to put our plus, and then we have to do this, okay? So now what we're doing here, and this is a good thing to do, is to always test it. So now, where are we? Just going to copy that just to have another function in here. So we're going to call that show flag. Did I already have something called show flag? I'm just going to, it's not going to be a problem, but I'm just going to say show flag 1. All right, so on click, I put on click there. That should be show flag 1, right? And it has to, I'm sending in a variable, so I have to receive a variable. So I'm going to say flag ID. I just made that up, right? And let's just test it real quick because we know it will work if we test it. Flag ID. So now what should happen is when I run this, if I haven't made any grammatical errors, quotes, all that stuff, then it's going to just show me what number in the array. It's not going to show me its name. It's just going to show me, if I click USA, it's going to be 0. If I click China, it's going to be 1. If I click Canada, it's going to be 2. Because remember, it starts from 0. So I save that. All right. Let me go back down here so you can see that. Click. Great. All right. So now we're really very, very close. All we have to do now is change this. So now instead of div ID show flag, we're going to display something, right? So we're going to say, and I'm going to go back to old school because we haven't, in this one we haven't called jQuery, so I'm going to say div ID, and we're going to use show flag is our ID, and we need to do what? I can't even remember how we do this now. Source, right? Now what we should do is put that as an image. So what we'll do is change this, because all we're going to do is show an image. So we're going to change this to image ID, okay? So now we're going to have that, that's just a placeholder, right? That's going to show the flag. And now what we're going to say is we know what element in the, or what array element it is. So now what we're going to do is we're going to say, what do we want to show here? We want to show, what's it called? Countries? Countries flag ID, right? That's the number that we send it. Flag image. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to change, when you click on it, when you click on the name of the country, it's going to run show flag 1. It's sending it the array element. Then we're going to change the source. I think that's right. I need to go again. I'm using a lot more jQuery now than I am typing this out. But it's good because this shows you how you can control everything in the program and, you know, make some get started with it. So countries, flag ID, that's going to be a number, flag image. All right, that looks good to me. If you see a problem, then you'll see a problem before me. All right, this is my button. Everything works. All right, so a couple things. Certainly, you can go in there and change the size. You can stylify this up. I really like what Nathan did here. It's a cool looking button. And let me just go back to that code right here. But that's how you do it. So you're using your style to make it look good, and then you're adding a couple of functions and an array and a for loop in order to make the program do whatever you want. So take a look at this. I'll try to put this up in the sandbox or the showcase so that everybody can play around with it. But great special project. If you have a special project that you're working on that you want some help with, or that you have a vision, what you can see here is that Nathan said, I just want to be able to do this. And that's what we work on in the Young Programmers Club. Bye.